The end of the road is always something that we long for, and for College COD, we have reached our final turn into the final stretch. Welcome to LAN. My name's Proper. This is your after-action report presented by Nelnet Bank. Just so you all know how this entire shindig works, we have 8 teams that have been able to combat through a regular season playoffs and a last LAN qualifier, then got slotted into 2 separate groups, 4 teams in Group A, 4 teams in Group B. They will be battling for the top 3 spots, so that way we can flush out a double elimination bracket for the best 6 teams here on day number 1. The way things end up working, obviously the number 1 and number 2 seed for each group, they start in the winner's bracket, and the number 3 seed, they'll be starting in the lower bracket. So let's get on into it, shall we? First up, we have defending CCL champs, Northwood, with a different look taking on a strong Oklahoma Christian. This match on paper was slated to be a banger, and, well, it wasn't. Barring a few rounds in the search and destroy, Oklahoma Christian got blown out of the water, quite literally. 100-point clubbed on the Hydro Map 1, 6-3 on the Fortress Search and Destroy, and 3-1 on the Expo Control. Northwood were simply the better team. Next, we had our first real test for University of North America taking on the Hilltoppers of St. Edwards. I feel like St. Edwards would have all of the right tools to be a tough combatant for the Dragons, albeit losing their opening match to Fisher off broadcast, and they just simply couldn't piece much together. The Dragons were outslaying, outpacing, and quite frankly, outsmarting the Hilltoppers. 250 to 117 on the Hydro Map 1, saw UONA Desmays go on a 7 spree as the Dragons got around 100 points alone, stringing together P4 and P5. Very unheard of. 6-2 on the Hotel Search and Destroy, and as clean as can be, a 3-0 on the Alosilo Control, had the Dragons breathing fire and flying high. Tough spot to be in if you are the Hilltoppers now at 0-2 in your group. Which brings us to our next match, a do-or-go-home matchup between 2 0-2 teams in Group B and 2 teams that were here last year as well. The Hilltoppers would be back on broadcast, but to take on the Panthers of Davenport. Loser goes home, winner gets that 3rd seed in the group. Both teams lost to both Fisher and the Dragons previously, so there wasn't really much to go on. The hard points were a back and forth affair, with Davenport's Sheldon frying on the Fortress Map 1, but it wasn't enough to cool off Eon's and Thresh's team shots and overwhelming map pressure. St. Edwards took the Hydro hardpoint 250 to 209. The S&D was interesting, to say the least. Davenport went up early, barring some heroics from Thresh late with an ace to boot. He called in his cruise missile just a little bit too late to stop the round 10 defuse to come through. The next 2 maps were a continuous showcase of how well Eons and Thresh play off of each other, and although Davenport Sheldon gave it a good old scholar's try, it came up short, lost the Hotel Control, and the final hardpoint, and were eliminated from LAN at top 8. This means our championship bracket was filled out and the real tournament has begun. We had to say farewell to both Davenport and New Mexico State as they bow out at top 8. We concluded the evening with both winners round 1 matches, with the first being Northwood taking on the Dragons of University of North America. The Dragons put up one hell of a fight in the hardpoint, showing what they have to offer, but Northwood would not be denied their flawless record on the day, only losing a round 11 search. The Dragons will be knocked down to the lower bracket and will face St. Edwards in a lower round 1 rematch. The final winners round 1 match was an absolute banger. World champion, top amateur prospects, former teammates, Fisher Falcons took on Oklahoma Christian. You couldn't ask for a closer series. Fisher's Gunzy and Dylan Rex were laying the smackdown in both hardpoints, but the true woes were sang in the 2, 3, and 5 for Fisher. Round 10 Mercado S&D Map 2, an almost reverse sweep in an insane Expo Map 3, and a masterclass 15-3 performance from Oklahoma Christian's own Frosty in the Map 5, would complete the Neslo for Oklahoma Christian, sending Fisher to the lower round 1 to face the Saints of St. Clair. And that's it. The first day is complete. We've made it through groups. We played our first through winners round 1 matchup. We came through here with 8 teams, and now we're just down to 6. However, there can only be one champion here for CCL 2023 season. Who do you got taking it all? Let us know, especially on Twitter. You can find all of the action unfolding tomorrow. Get all the information if you follow us at College COD, and all the action will be commencing at noon at twitch.tv/College COD. See you tomorrow to crown yet another champion for CCL, this time for the 2023 season. Hope to see you all there at Belong Gaming's Arena or in the Twitch stream. My name's Proper. This has been your After Action Report presented by Nelnet Bank.